食我从来不吃。这种骂声不仅仅把预制菜在当时推上热搜，如今餐饮赛道最热门。
In recent times, several food safety incidents have occurred in China, sparking widespread discussions in society. Why do food safety issues in China persist without alerting or stringent governance by the government? The primary reason lies in the fact that leaders at all levels of the government enjoy a special supply of food. These leaders and their families are shielded from consuming the problematic foods, which leads to the indifference of the leadership towards food safety concerns. This is yet another grave social issue under authoritarian rule. Lu Changdong said, "The food safety issue in China has reached an absolutely outrageous level. This is what's in the hearts of all Chinese people. Even mice won't eat the rice we consume. Just a few drops of flavoring can transform local rice into expensive, fragrant rice. Not even mice dare to enter the warehouse because they would be fumigated to death." This year's 315 Gala, the first shot was fired at food safety. It's horrifying to discover that the rice we eat daily is being counterfeited. The exposure this time in Anhui, Hefei, Huainan, and other places involves 3 or 4 companies specializing in producing this Thai fragrant rice with artificial flavoring, which they never import, only blending with hidden 3-no flavoring. We only know that excessive flavoring consumption is harmful, but we are unaware of the extent of its dangers. Most of the flavoring we consume is extracted from the petrochemical and coal chemical industries, which is even more toxic and can cause irreversible damage to our nervous system and liver function. You may find it hard to believe, but even vermicelli rice noodles has counterfeit products on the market. Labeling them as fake is one thing, but it goes too far when they're toxic. Not long ago, a family of 4 developed leukemia due to the long-term consumption of low-quality vermicelli. It was later discovered that the excessive formaldehyde in the vermicelli caused it. A cafeteria at a vocational school in Guangdong, China, served a meal containing suspected foreign materials, and it's got people wondering what's happening with the cooks and those responsible for food safety. Can they be a bit more careful? The incident in Guangdong is particularly intriguing, especially coming right after the Jiangxi rat head and duck neck event. An article by Huang Qiu, Net reported that students at a foreign language and art vocational school in Guangzhou found gel-like foreign objects in their food while dining. A chain of Guilin screw powder restaurants in Hezhou, Guangxi, has been discovered to be using crematorium corpse oil to cook their food. This is a shocking revelation. However, the authorities have attempted to debunk these claims, but it's a well-known fact that the more the government denies something, the more likely it is to be true, as Chinese people believe. On September 14, 2022, during a conversation in the Dongfang Zhenyuan live broadcast, Wang Zhegang, the founder of the Zhegang think tank, along with Yu Maihong and Dong Yuhui, stated prepackaged meals are food fit for pigs and dogs. I never eat them. However, it's ironic that the very same low-quality food, as deemed by experts, is being sold to schools by various levels of government as nutritious meals. What problems have arisen in school cafeterias due to the prevalence of pre-packaged meals in society? Some parents have shared videos where they displayed their children's lunchboxes, and feedback from the children indicates that the meat in the meals is excessively salty. The vegetables are yellowing, and the bean curd sticks are sour, making it impossible for the children to swallow. In a self-organized group of parents protesting pre-packaged meals, several parents reported that their children experienced diarrhea after consuming school meals. Parents from all over the country have been submitting complaints to local authorities, demanding an end to the use of pre-packaged meals in schools. Parents have several concerns regarding pre-packaged meals. Firstly, they are worried about additives in pre-packaged meals exceeding safety limits. Some pre-packaged meals have a shelf life of up to a year, and this raises concerns about potential long-term health risks, not only for children but also for adults. Secondly, there are concerns about the low quality of ingredients used in pre-packaged meals. Rumors suggest that subpar ingredients like long-frozen zombie meat, meat, and rotting vegetables find their way into pre-packaged meal processing facilities. Thirdly, parents are concerned about the safety and hygiene of the preparation process for pre-packaged meals. The hygiene standards for making pre-packaged meals are fundamentally unverifiable. It is precisely the government's tolerance and tacit approval of these practices by food companies that have led to alarming food safety issues in China, from extracting gutter oil from filthy sewage, making fruit juice from spoiled apples, to packaging children's favorite spicy snacks without gloves, workers stepping on chicken feet, using their feet and hands to make noodles, soaking green bananas in ripening agents, and producing chili sauce in open-air environments. A worker spraying ripening agents on sugarcane mentioned that he doesn't care whether people get poisoned after consuming it. He only cares about selling it. Another woman involved in collecting gutter oil claims to have legal documentation for her activities. With food processed in such ways, would you dare to eat it? China's long-standing food safety issues, including gutter oil, toxic rice, adulterated milk powder, and foods with excessive additives, have drawn widespread criticism. These uniquely Chinese food safety problems have become a rampant and interconnected chain of toxicity, eventually reaching the tables of ordinary citizens. In 2017, mainland China's Suhu media published an article titled "Chinese Soaked in Pesticides," revealing that the total global pesticide usage is approximately 3.5 million tons annually, with China accounting for about half of the world's total pesticide usage. From the 1990s to the present day, China's pesticide usage has increased from 765,300 tons in 1991 to 1,869 million tons in 2014, marking a 136.1% increase in pesticide usage over the past 20 years. According to data from authoritative sources, mainland China has seen over 100,000 cases of pesticide and chemical additive poisoning annually due to food residues. Of course, many people cannot tolerate such behavior. However, what are the results after reporting food safety issues? Reporting food problems with rewards only resulted in 20 cents, and the man sued the Food and Drug Administration. Mr. Jia lives in Jinan, Shandong Province, and he noticed that the government issued a notice for rewarding reports on unqualified food. If the situation is confirmed, the reward can be quite generous. Since then, Mr. Jia has paid attention to food safety issues. Later, Mr. Jia found that a well-known local supermarket was selling expired bread. He reported this situation to the local Food and Drug Administration. After an investigation, it was confirmed that Mr. Jia's report was accurate, and the Food and Drug Administration fined the supermarket 50,000 yuan. Unexpectedly, when Mr. Jia was notified to claim the reward, he received only 20 cents. Out of frustration, Mr. Jia took the Food and Drug Administration to court. In court, the Food and Drug Administration explained that according to Xi'an's regulations on rewards for reporting illegal activities related to food and drugs, this case falls under the first-level reporting reward category, which provides a reward of 10% of the value of the goods. In this case, the goods involved, a single expired bread, were valued at only 2 yuan. Therefore, according to the rules, the 20-cent reward for Mr. Jia was considered appropriate. In the end, Mr. Jia lost the lawsuit. Citizens commented that the regulations only offer 20 cents as a reward, which implies that you shouldn't report illegal activities in the future. Some people might wonder, don't Chinese officials worry that these toxic and harmful foods will harm their health? They certainly know, and that's why the special food supply system known as food supply for officials has become one of many extravagant privileges for officials at all levels. The so-called food supply for officials is a special food supply system tailored for officials by the Chinese Communist ruling group. They have dedicated production bases, including large-scale farms, breeding farms, and more. These bases also have dedicated slaughterhouses, meat processing factories, confectionery factories, cooked food production workshops, testing laboratories, and other specialized facilities. These bases are specifically designed to produce, process, and supply high-quality foodstuffs, including grains, vegetables, fruits, meat, poultry, eggs, and dairy products for Communist Party leaders. In October 2006, the central state organs held a ceremony for awarding the special supply products, and the director of the National Government Food Supply Center, Zhu Yonglin, stated that special supply product bases were spread across 13 provinces, municipalities, and autonomous regions across the country. They've been providing high-quality and safe organic food for retirees from 94 national ministries and commissions. The special supply products undergo animal safety tests and are approved by the National Food and Drug Administration. The raw materials and auxiliary materials are safe, reliable, and free from pollution. They cannot contain any hormones or chemical components. While the food supply for officials system was originally implemented only within a small circle of central authorities, it has gradually expanded to various central government departments, provinces, municipalities, and even some counties and townships. These observations indicate that Chinese officials are well aware of the food safety issues and how to address them. They simply choose not to take action. So, it can be said that the fundamental cause of China's food safety issues is the special food supply system for leaders, which keeps them shielded from tainted food, enabling them to ignore the struggles of ordinary people dealing with toxic food. But the famous lines from Tang Dynasty poet Du Fu come to mind. The red gates have the stench of wine and meat, but the road has the frozen bones of the dead. These lines depict the severe wealth gap in society, reflecting the ruler's extravagant lifestyle, while the common people suffer from harsh realities. This stark contrast highlights the deep-seated grievances of the society, foreshadowing an impending change of power. If the Chinese communist dictatorship continues to neglect food safety issues and treats the lower-class citizens as inconsequential, then in the not-too-distant future, food safety concerns might become the last straw that breaks the back of this regime.